two names that are starting to be linked with the Eagles, Hassan Reddick and Christian Kirk. And all I can say is this, now you're talking. Well, hello friends, Mark Holmes.
I'm a grown-ass man. See, I'm a grown-ass man. Grown-ass man.
Hey everybody, King Dingbat here. I'm in my garage with a cigar. It's only a candy cigar because my wife won't let me smoke one after I put that big fat head up in our bedroom.
Let's get rid of Dak. At this point, I'd be happy for Dak to be playing for somebody else. And my team stinks. I agree. Stinks.
They laugh about us. We're a disgrace. We suck.
I am now Philly 500's bitch.
Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, King Dingbat here, and I hope everybody's having a great day. I hope you guys are doing well. So, as I said before, this offseason for the Philadelphia Eagles is not only, I think, maybe the most important offseason the Eagles have had in years, but out of all the teams in the NFL, the Eagles should be the most fascinating, most exciting, most active team to watch because they have so much ammo, they have the ability to do so many different things that it should be very, very, very interesting. No question about it. And before we get into this video, I gotta say, if you haven't, make sure you hit that subscribe button. There's gonna be Eagles all-season content all season, almost every day of the week. You definitely don't want to miss it. And if you've been subscribed for a while, double check, make sure you're still subscribed, because for whatever reason, I've had YouTube unsubscribing people. I've had almost 30 people tell me so far that they checked and they saw that they were unsubscribed. So the list keeps growing. Double check just in case you've been unsubscribed. And I know people have been asking, when am I going to do some live streams? When am I going to do the live streams now that football's over? Expect quite a few this week and next week. I'm going to be home early in the afternoon, have a little more time this week, so I'm going to try to jump on and we'll do some. I'm planning some stuff, maybe getting some people on, all those kind of good things. Now, in regards to the Philadelphia Eagles, I have said this all during the season. Like, one of the guys that I would love to see in free agency would be Hassan Reddick. Hassan Reddick, to me, could be like the best piece the Eagles possibly could get this offseason, okay? The issue with him, Hassan Reddick, is how would the Eagles fit him into their system. The Eagles primarily play a 4-3, right? So he plays a 3-4 defense. He's more of an edge rusher linebacker. He does a bunch of different things. But if he was to come to the Philadelphia Eagles, he would be basically a 4-3 Sam linebacker. That's probably where they would play him. And then every once in a while they could move him, let him, rush the quarterback as an edge rusher, maybe on third down situations. So to me, Hassan Reddick is one of the most fascinating guys that you possibly could get in free agency. Yes, he would cost you a pretty penny. The guy had 11 sacks last year. He'll be 28 years old next year going into the season. So he, to me, would be my number one choice. If I had one person that I could pick in free agency, it would be him. The issue's going to be is how would Jonathan Gannon use him? You have to use him differently than everybody else, because to me, you don't go out and give a guy like Hassan Reddick, you don't go out and you don't give him a bunch of money just to be a 4-3 Sam linebacker. You have to use him primarily in the pass rush. That's where you have to get him. Now, he's not really a 4-3 defensive end. So, the Eagles and Jonathan Gannon, if you remember a year ago when they hired him, he really wanted to use like a hybrid kind of defensive scheme where, at times you run the 4-3, at times you run the 3-4, and that's what he wanted to build. Well, if you're willing to do that and you're willing to move Hassan Reddick around, and you can put him in situations where he's going after the quarterback, like on passing situations, on third down, you go out and you can get him. He would give you double-digit sacks instantly. I mean, you can look at the way the Cowboys kind of use Parsons. Can you use him in that way? Because Parsons is used all over the place. So we're starting to see his name mentioned. I think there was an article. I think it was the Inquirer. I was reading about it on Bleeding Green Nation. I will put that link in the description. But Hassan Reddick, by far to me, would be my number one choice in free agency. Just because I think he's such a playmaker. He's such a game changer that if the Eagles use him right, he could be a huge piece for us. Now, the problem is going to be how will they use him and how much money he would get. That I don't know. And if you don't go with him, I look at a guy like Emmanuel Ogbah in Miami, somebody like that who's a 4-3 defensive end, had 9 sacks 2 years in a row. He could be a guy that the Eagles should look at. Now, I like the fact that just Hassan Reddick is being mentioned with the Eagles at all. That gives me some hope. Another guy that I want to talk about, and I may be probably the minority on this topic, on this position, but Christian Kirk, to me, should be the Eagles' number one target at wide receiver. I know people think, Mike Williams. Some people think Devontae Adams, although you'll never pay him what he costs. But DJ Chark comes up. Mike Williams comes up. There's a lot of different guys that come up. But when I look at it, I look at Christian Kirk and I say, this is the perfect guy. To me, this is the perfect guy. He's 25 years old. He's not going to be 26 until November of next year. And he had 77 catches, 982 yards. He just barely missed that 1,000-yard season. And he's a guy that you can move all around. But primarily, I want him to play in the slot. And then I want to take a guy like Quez Watkins, I want to put him on the outside and give him another year. Okay? So I look at a guy like Christian Kirk and I say, he's probably going to cost you less than a guy like Mike Williams. Mike Williams will probably cost you more. There's also talk about Juju Smith-Schuster. If you remember, the Eagles made a play for him last year. They liked him. They made a play for him. His contract voids on Friday. So he's a free agent. He's another guy that could be a slot receiver for the Eagles. But to me, he's expensive. He's going to be more expensive than a Christian Kirk. To me, Christian Kirk, his best years are ahead of him. They're ahead of him. And if he can shake free and become a free agent, I would get him. Now, in a perfect situation, if you told me that in free agency the Eagles landed Hassan Reddick and Christian Kirk, I'm saying let's go. Let's go, baby. Denzel Washington. Be ready. Yo, I'd be ready. That would be amazing. But those are like two of my favorite guys in free agency that I would love to get. The only thing that worries me about Hassan Reddick, besides the money, is Jonathan Gannon. I don't know if I can trust him to do the right thing. I don't know if he would use him right. But maybe Hassan Reddick is the piece he needs to do the right thing and use him right. We'll see. Christian Kirk, perfect guy for the Eagles. And I'm reading an article about Inside the Eagles. I'll put the link in the description. And they were talking about how Christian Kirk has a connection to Aaron Moorhead. Aaron Moorhead, the wide receivers coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, was also the wide receiver coach at Texas A&M where Christian Kirk was. He knows him well. He likes him a lot. Had nothing but great things to say about him. And I think that this could be the link, the perfect link to bring Christian Kirk to Philly. And if I bring Christian Kirk to Philly, I'm telling you, it's going to be huge. Now, he's not the big physical receiver a lot of people want. And to me, when I hear that big physical wide receiver, I want to know, what do you mean? Do you mean a guy who's big and tall and slow and could go up and get the ball, but he's slow? I don't need anybody slow. If you're going to tell me it's a guy that could catch in traffic, hard to bring down, fast, okay, I'm in. But I think Christian Kirk in the slot would be perfect. Because remember, if you get another outside wide receiver, if you got Mike Williams, okay, and I like Mike Williams, don't get me wrong, but if you got him, he's going to cost you more. And what are you going to do with Quez Watkins? I don't believe Quez Watkins should be a slot receiver. I don't believe he's good in that position. I think he needs to be on the outside. So Christian Kirk, to me, is the perfect guy for the Eagles. And he's got a perfect link. He knows Aaron Moorhead. Aaron Moorhead knows him. Great connection right there. Aaron Moorhead had nothing but great things to say about Christian Kirk. So, to me, this is the perfect scenario for the Eagles. Now, I want to see what the Eagles are going to do with Hassan Reddick. We'll see. Christian Kirk should be interesting. But it's nice to see that those guys are kind of being talked about in regards to the Eagles, because I think they need to. This is the most important free agency all-season draft, all of it, the Eagles have had in years. Okay, I don't expect them to go out and get a quarterback. You hear Deshaun Watson. The Texans still want 3 first-round picks. Are they nuts? You're nuts. You nuts. You know what I mean? You ain't getting 3 first-round picks for a guy with all those off-the-field things going on. It ain't going to happen. Okay? But, they want a lot for a quarterback. Of course, Seattle is going to want an arm and a leg for Russell Wilson. I do find it funny, though, that, and I don't know what this is about, but I do find it funny that I think it was one of these betting companies have the Eagles 5-1 odds to get Russell Wilson. It dropped like ridiculous amount. I forget what it was exactly. I might have to do a video on it later. But anyways, where does this come from? Of course, like I said, Russell Wilson, of course, I would do it for Russell Wilson. He's that guy. But it's not going to happen. So, in the meantime, you got to build around Jalen Hurts. You got to get him good guys, good players around him. I think Christian Kirk, Devontae Smith, and then, look, if you really want to make a splash, draft Treylon Burks in the first round, one of your first-round picks. You got Treylon Burks on the outside, 6'3", 225. You have Christian Kirk, who's not going to cost you a lot. You got Devontae Smith. All right, let's go. I think Quez Watkins, though, I think people are sleeping on him. I think people are sleeping on Quez Watkins. He had a great second year. He needs another year. He needs more opportunities. And you need to get rid of Jalen Reagor, which I don't know that they'll do. But Hassan Reddick, Christian Kirk, 2 of my top free agent wants. Will the Eagles get it? I have no idea. We'll see. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Okay, so I gotta say this. This isn't football related. This isn't sports related. Well, kind of, but not really. I have complained over the course of 2 years that the reason music stinks, movies stinks, stories stinks, TV stinks, is because of PC and wokeism. It destroys everything. Okay? It does. And I know now that I am so 100% correct, because over the last 2 days, I watched 2 movies that were fantastic that didn't have any of it. All right? I have to get this off my chest. Okay? Because it's eating me up. But I went and finally saw the Spider-Man. Fantastic. It was fantastic from beginning to end. They didn't try to push an agenda down your throat, and it just was nice. Okay, good movie. Then last night, I finally watched Ghostbusters Afterlife. Another great movie. Great movie. No agenda, just good storytelling. And that's the key. Stop trying to push your narratives on us. We don't want it. And put out good stories. Concentrate on the stories. Everything else will come. Now, I gotta say this. Enough with the superheroes. Enough with the 80s remakes. Go think of something brand new and come up with a good story. With that said, Denzel Washington out.